First time the Rahul Gandhi has become the leader of the opposition after Sonia Gandhi.
If the BJP is stifling him, then obviously he's got something right.
When will an alliance with the DMK be formalized?
There are 234 seats. You have to cut the cake and share it among all parties within the coalition. We'll have to see whether new partners are coming in.
Who's the new partner you're looking for, Vijay?
He'll be in his own formation. He'll secularly break votes. He definitely has a very strong fan base. That fan base can convert itself into a support base. The support base can potentially convert itself into a vote base. But whether that vote base will convert into seats is a big question.
They've ruled out power sharing with you.
They've always said independent government in the state and a coalition government in the center. That has been the credo of the DMK since the beginning.
Are you tired of that?
I'm tired of a lot of things. So why that?
When the alliance was formed over there of the AIDMK plus, you saw the lotus symbol also over there.
BJP is a drag as far as Tamil Nadu politics is concerned. They simply don't get Tamil Nadu. And their brand of politics doesn't gel well with Tamil Nadu. The national media makes this mistake because of the aura of Modi, which is there in substantial parts of the country, and particularly in North India. They think it's immediately transplanted into all parts of India. Without understanding that Modi he doesn't have much of a pull in Tamil Nadu.
But when he goes there in the rallies and all that,
rallies are all organized.
But even on the roadside.
Yes, that's again organized. Nothing is organic.
On the INX case, haven't they given a list of the payments?
I have never spoken to anybody in government about any private business's interest, asking them to do one thing or the other.
Why a witch hunt against you? You seem to be the dissident voice in Congress.
And it is a signal to the world at large that if we can go after the former Home Minister and Finance Minister, we can go after anybody.
Have you seen Durandhar?
No, I haven't, but I've been told that I have a cameo there. I hope the producer had called me and asked me who they should cast as my cameo or as something like that. I would have given some suggestions.
Who would you suggest?
Oh, Pierce Brosnan, baby. If people can mix up fact, fiction and WhatsApp forwards, what can I do?
So you think that sequence is completely...
If you really think it happened, shouldn't the government of India have some records?
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching or listening to another edition of the ANI podcast with Smita Prakash. My guest today is Karti Chidambaram of the Congress Party. Joining me in the podcast are my colleagues at ANI, Siddharth Sharma and Ishan Prakash. The focus of the conversation is on Tamil Nadu politics. The ruling DMK, led by current Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, is seeking a re-election on the issues of autonomy and language rights. And the traditional rival AIADMK is attempting to regain lost ground. The Congress remains a junior partner of the DMK, but an emerging third angle is actor Vijay, so far untested, with his TVK party. But the BJP, with its alliance with the AIDMK and others, is positioning itself as a force to reckon with. Karti Chidambaram is a two-time member of parliament from the Congress party. He has several ongoing corruption-related cases against him. Son of former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, Karti supposedly has the dubious distinction of the most raided by tax authorities. Welcome to the show, Mr. Chidambaram. May I call you by your first name?
No, you should call me Karti.
That's okay, thank you so much. Because it'll, when a couple of years ago, quite a few years ago, I had gone to Islamabad to cover Home Minister level talks, and Mr. Chidambaram had come out there, and the poor Pakistanis had such a hard time saying Chidambaram because they just couldn't. It wouldn't roll out from their tongue. It's
a common Tamil name.
Common, I know, but in that part of the world, it was difficult. But
we have problems with names from say. Greece.
Not from Pakistan.
Not from Pakistan, but from Greece or something like that. Perhaps,
Correct. But thank you for allowing me to use your first name. I'm going to begin with the parliament session, if it's okay with you guys, because I think it's become so fractious right now, the session, such raised tempers, such ego issues that, the debates are not happening. It's become so divided. You are a long-time parliamentarian. What is your view about it?
It's very unfortunate and very disappointing that Parliament is, by and large, has become dysfunctional and is slowly losing its relevance as well because it's not serving the purpose it was intended to serve. And I would lay blame greatly on the government because the government which has a majority, some of the other seems to have this great inferiority complex of allowing the opposition to speak. And in parliamentary parlance, it's always known that the opposition should have its say and the government can have its way. That's why they are government. And this is a government, at least in the terms I've been in parliament, is enjoying a significant majority. So it really doesn't matter if they allow the opposition to say what it wants to say and then counter it. And if it has to go to vote, it will go to vote. And naturally, the government will win. But this government is, I don't know what holds them back by allowing the opposition to have its say.
What about that? The visuals of your party, women from your party going and standing around the Prime Minister's chair.
The Prime Minister wasn't there.
Awkward watching those?
The Prime Minister wasn't there. Let's first clarify that.
Right.
I mean, the Prime
He was
Minister,
about to come, right?
I don't know whether the House was adjourned or it just happened before the House was adjourned. So I don't know. And this diabolical plot which seems to be going around, I have not heard anything about it. And if there was a diabolical plot, you must have a full-fledged investigation because it endangers the life of the Prime Minister who's protected by the SPG.
And a short while ago, there were these pictures video which Mr. Rijiju has put out about in the Speaker's chamber. Again, people from your party were raising voices and saying things. Even though Priyanka ji was there and Mr. Venugopal was there, they both didn't raise slogans, but they were standing at the back. Aapne bhi dekha hoga, Siddharth.
Yes,
so
there's heated
exchanges that happened while he was seated.
I'm not aware of that myself because I wasn't there. But if there were heated exchanges, there was heated exchanges. But as I said, the speaker should allow us in the sense the opposition to have their say. I mean, the government and the chair can't decide the content, tenor, and of what we want to say. We have absolute liberty to say what we want to say, and if it's unparliamentary, expunge it. Other than that, you can't be. You're not a CBFC for us to give you a script beforehand which you will approve, and then for the opposition to speak. And that seems to be the style in which they are functioning, and that I think is unacceptable. People want a healthy debating house, and this is not behaving like a healthy debating house. We are becoming a stamping house of executive order. And getting executive orders through without any kind of discussion or debate. And that's unfortunate.
Do you think that there will be a thawing of all of this that's going to happen? Because there are important issues on the budget that are barely being discussed. You've raised important issues as well about disability pensions being stopped in the budget, etc.
KYC norms.
Yeah, all of that is on hold. And we see opposition members going into the treasury side protesting.
I think one of the problems is that the back channels have collapsed, or rather there are no back channels. You see, in the past, at least I've heard this from my father when he was in the Lok Sabha, that there always used to be a back channel communication between government and opposition. My father's been in government and he's been in opposition also. So there always used to be some sort of a back channel in the corridors. You would say, okay, protest has happened. Okay, we'll ease off. You come and speak sometime. That I think has collapsed since 2014. That back channeling has collapsed because perhaps the style in which this government functions, there is nobody authorized to be a back channel in their end, and there is no trust building measures with anybody here. In fact,
Parliamentary Affairs Minister?
I don't think there's any kind of interaction and trust building with other members. You see, the fact that the central hall is gone has also led to a collapse of this kind of, which could have led to some sort of bonhomie. Now there is no central hall. We don't even see anybody from the Rajya Sabha. And there is no place where all members sort of, except for the canteen, to sort of congregate or otherwise. See, it's a failing on both sides, I would say, for not having back channels. But the onus is always on the government to form these kind of...
the assumption of a back channel would mean that the intermediaries would have direct access to those who take decisions in either side of the parties. There are a lot. You're a very pragmatic MP. There are other MPs in the Congress as well, and the BJP who have links across the aisle. They're not being heard by either side.
I don't think there is any. I think nobody's been authorized on the government side. I think unless somebody from the government side initiates it, this is not something the opposition can initiate. The government must initiate it. And to be frank, when the BJP was in opposition under the Advani time, say from 2004 to 14, there was a lot of back channeling.
Jaswant Singh, I think,
There was a lot of back channeling
with the South parties.
Yeah, and with some parties, there was always some sort of
Like-
give and take, and
Yeah.
that kind of. That's not there right now. There's hardly any interaction. There is hardly even getting to know each other kind of thing now. So that I think is a failing perhaps on both sides. You can lay blame, but substantially on the government for creating this atmosphere.
That is what I was trying to just say about the parliament geography of the house also. There is a room of Rajya Sabha LOP, Mallikarjun Kharge. Just next to him, Dharmendra Pradhan's room. Another room is Piyush Goyal's. So anybody can go over there, even if LOP feels he wants to raise something, he can just go and
think
back them.
You accept it or not, this is a 1.5% government. There are only 1.5 people who take decisions in this government. Everything has to be kicked up there. There is nobody who can say they are speaking or they are authorized to speak or to take a decision. Everything is kicked upstairs. So it is so centralized. It is so centralized in any form or shape. Even the speaker, informally, when you ask him something, he says that I have to consult and come back, which is technically not supposed
Isn't
to do.
that in every government?
It need not. The point is, I have never seen such concentration of authority in any other government. I follow politics. I've been in politics for 30 years.
You're a member of a party where the strongest prime minister ever supposed to have been in this country, Indira Gandhi. It was that she was the only man in her cabinet. They used to say, remember?
That was said. First of all, I don't think in today's world, if you just say you're the only man, that's a compliment.
Obviously, it's
not
not
a compliment.
But
Neither
it used
is
to
it
be
a-
said.
that is
It
not-
used to be
that
said.
is how
That's what I said.
language. That was how language.
It's evolved.
It is evolved. Today, that does not mean you're the only strong person or
But
the
she
only
was,
intelligent.
right?
Huh?
She was.
That was because personalities always will override it, but there were others who could take decisions, and during her time her cabinet was filled with stalwarts. Let's be clear. Let's not compare Indira Gandhi's cabinet with this cabinet. Let us not compare the track record of Indira Gandhi's cabinet with this cabinet. We can go man to man like a football team. We'll put down Indira Gandhi's cabinet. Let's look at the track record, political track record, social track record of everybody, and let's do a man to man or a man to woman comparison with the government of Mr. Modi, and let's decide which is a better.
I'm just talking in terms of power delineation. You had very powerful ministers in the UPA 1 and 2 also. But in that UPA 1 and 2, it was understood that everything had to be cleared from Sonia Gandhi.
No, I think that's a kind of a myth which is being perpetuated, again and again and again. Mrs. Gandhi had her interests, her social interests and her social agenda and her political agenda. She was definitely a very, very important person in the firmament of that government.
Like your party says about RSS, right? That RSS decides
but she's an elected member of parliament.
Mm.
She was the joint parliamentary party leader. And there was a body created, NAC created where she sat. There was nothing unconstitutional, undemocratic or unparliamentary about her. She got elected to parliament. She sat in the Lok Sabha. She was the leader of the parliamentary party of the Congress. And she was the leader of the coalition. Yes, the prime minister was given, and she took the most pragmatic and correct decision of giving the prime minister to a technocratic politician.
Okay.
She did that, but the political authority came through her to the prime minister. There's no doubt about that. But just because she was not some extra judicial or extra constitutional authority outside the political spectrum who was interfering in government affairs, that is not true. They created a structure for her, but even in my opinion, that structure need not have been created. She's a parliamentary party leader. She was for the United Parliamentary Party leader. She was the chairman of the UPA. She could have called for a UPA meeting. She could have leaders and given her ideas which could have been followed. So let's not. And this is a complete myth that files were sent to her. This is a myth making of the BJP, which it's very, very good at.
I'm only going by the book that Dr. Sanjay Varu wrote.
I mean, people write books and books. We are going to get into books. Let's get into all books.
Okay.
Published, unpublished, read, unread, reviewed,
Oh my God.
unreviewed.
I don't know.
Let's get into all books. Then.
No, but do you see, just to tie this up, do you see an off ramp, or is this session a complete washout?
No, I think it's functioning today. I think they're going to give 0 hour to everybody who wants to say 0 hour, and I think it's sort of reached some sort of equilibrium. I mean, but the point is, every session we seem to go through some roadblock or the other.
The biggest conversation started in Chennai is, when will an alliance with the DMK happen? What will be the contours?
The alliance with the DMK has been the alliance with the DMK has been there since 2004.
Will be formalized in the number of seats that you will be
the
citing.
The DMK has now announced that the committee will be formed on February 22nd. So post.
How many seats do you think you'll get? And it's also very clear that power sharing
is not something Smita, Siddharth, and me are going to sit here and decide over a table of dry fruits.
You're a Tamil Nadu politician. You would know what strength of this party is.
There are 234 seats. All parties you have to cut the cake and share it among all parties within the coalition.
Right.
We'll have to see whether new partners are coming in. People have contested a certain number of seats the last time. Of course, everybody's expectation is always
Who's
high.
the new partner you're looking for, Vijay?
No. I don't think he can join this any of the larger formations. And he'll be in his own formation. We'll come to him. But within this formation, there might be some smaller parties which might join. There are a few parties which are flirting on both sides as well. I mean,
So is the door shut for Vijay? Suppose he wants to come?
No.
Or is anybody trying?
He can't come to the DMK front.
No, that's what I'm asking. Why not? Everybody's trying to woo him, it seems.
No. That is, I think, he's clearly identified two political parties as something which he cannot have any kind of relationship or alliance with. And he's identified the DMK and the BJP. So that rules out both the fronts for him. So he has to only be a third front.
So is he going to break?
Of course, he will secularly break votes.
Secularly break votes. What is that? So it's
very all over the place.
So DMK votes, AIDMK votes, he'll eat into everyone.
By opinion, he will secularly break.
Karti sir, tell me this, that the Congress has good relationship with Vijay. Rahul Gandhi has tweeted about him as well. Is there any room for some sort of an alliance with Vijay, with the Congress? And Congress just goes it with Vijay alone?
We are in an India alliance. Let's be very clear. We have to look at it from a national perspective. We are in the India alliance. And the DMK is a very important part of the India alliance nationally because they contribute a significant number of MPs to our bloc here. And we are part of the India alliance in Tamil Nadu, which the DMK leads. And now the Chief Minister categorically has said, yes, the alliance, he's confirmed the alliance, which there's no doubt about that. He's also said when we will start these seat negotiations. And he said that is on February 22nd. And he's given reasons why it's going to be February 22nd, because the Assembly is going to pass an interim budget on the 17th and it's going to sit for a few days. And on 22nd, we are going to meet. So once he has made that statement, the next step is only to have that we have already formed a committee. Our committee will meet their committee post February 22 and take it forward.
But they've ruled out power sharing with you.
They've ruled out. See, that is their position since day one. They've always said Manilatil Soyachi, Madhiyil Kootachi, which means an independent government in the state and a coalition government in the center. That has been the credo of the DMK since the beginning. But as I said,
are you tired of that?
I'm tired of a lot of things. So why that? And I'm tired of many things. I mean, we can't make a list of that. So the first step is,
how long will you play conductor and not the bus driver?
Because we are not ready to be the bus driver there. Because I mean, unless we have an overall of the organization, the overall on how we communicate with people and how we conduct our own affairs, we are not ready there anyway.
Why, Latharji?
I think it's, lethargy and, Delhi, the idea of nominating party presidents who don't necessarily have any kind of purchase beyond the immediate office circle. That kind of
How
thing.
long does it take, Karti? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40
I
years?
think the party can be completely revamped if it's given to somebody dynamic within 3 to 5 years.
No, I'm saying if you look back, it's taken so many
It's
years,
been
but
60
no
years.
realization.
It'll
That's
be
what I'm
60
saying.
years next year. So.
Yeah.
So the central math makes more sense right now
not
than
really.
state pragmatism.
No. State pragmatically also. This is you got to understand. We have been in an alliance. This alliance has been together since 2004. And barring the 2014 election when we were not together, we have won most of the elections.
Yes.
Pretty every parliamentary election we have won, except for the 2014 when we were split. Other than that, we have won every parliamentary election. We have won significant number of assembly elections also. We won 2006. We didn't win 2011 and 16, but then we won 2021.
Yes.
So our track record is good together. Of course, two parties together for this long, there will be inherent tensions, expectations, but we have to be practical. It's and the DMK is a well-oiled political machine. To somehow to get minor issues and to ditch that, in my opinion, will not be pragmatic. Yes, there are voices within the Congress party which are giving other options, because as a active political party, we will notice what's happening around us. We will take into account what's happening around us. And Vijay is a very popular movie star. He definitely has a very strong fan base. That fan base can convert itself into a support base. The support base can potentially convert itself into a vote base. But whether that vote base will convert into seats is a big question mark.
So those voices in Congress that you're talking about, who talk about you're basically saying they talk about Vijay. Is that a negotiating ploy? You're using the DMK to extract more seats?
I think it's a large political party like the Congress, where voices are not stifled easily, and voices you hear voices. People are giving their opinion on how they see things and the expectations. As she said, we've been out for nearly 60 years, so that angst is also there. Can we look at something else which might be a better option? That thought process is there. But to be fair to the AICC leadership, they called every MP and MLA and asked our opinion individually, and I think we are on the track of confirming the alliance and negotiating with the DMK and going ahead. This is after that exercise which was done in Delhi. And I must this is not been done ever before. This was done where 40 of us were called, 40 odd of us were called, and each and every one of them gave their opinion individually and not collectively in a closed room.
Sir, is that Vijay has given you power to negotiate? Because since you are saying 2004 to 2026, now we are in. Almost 22 years we have been in alliance with each other. But the first time you were talking about the party, you're talking about the power sharing. Earlier,
we had an opportunity in 2006. We missed the bus. It was a mistake in my point, where the DMK did not have a majority. They needed our support to form government, and we gave support without joining government. And in my opinion, that was a huge mistake.
Correct. Yeah.
Siddharth, I also want to ask, just tangentially over here, in West Bengal,
yes,
isn't the party now prepping to fight it alone in that state, or rather than an alliance with the TMC? Is there any, and could that be a model that they can use something like over here to revive the party?
They have already
contesting alone is not an option at all. We have done that experiment in 2014, and we know where we stand. I know what our vote bank is, and the Congress party, if you go by district, in some districts it will be in one district it will be the second party or the first party. In Kanyakumari, in my district, it will be perhaps be the third party, and in every other district it will be anything from the fourth to the seventh party.
So, is there any district where the Congress has increased its tally in the past couple of years?
See, if there are
one districts
where you can say it's reasonably strong, I would say it is my district. That is because of the continuous organizational activity which has been going on since my father's time and my time there, consistently and continuously. So
why it is not a
replicable model outside?
Outside, and even in your state.
See, the point is that I've said, no, Tamil Nadu is a very presidential state. It perhaps became the first presidential state in India, where people started voting for chief ministers. They started seeing who the chief minister is and then started making the vote. And in such a state, when you appoint somebody as a party chief, the first step is the party cadre must look at that person as a potential chief minister. then the people must also consider that person as a potential chief minister. They may not necessarily vote that person into chief minister. But barring Moopanar, when he was projected as chief minister in 89, and we gave up that experiment in 2 years. And in 96, we had an opportunity. Of course, that's a different story. We went as TMC and we created history. We created history. It was the most exciting time in my life. I came into active politics in 96. Anyway, that's a conversation we can have separately if you want. But we have never put anybody in charge of the Congress affairs whom even the party would consider as a potential chief minister. Well, let alone, let's not even go to the public. The party itself doesn't believe that this person can become a chief minister. So when you are operating in that style, when you have two Dravidian parties who have larger than life figures, or every once in a while a movie star props up, starting a political party who's also projecting himself as a chief minister, or even if you look at the other parties, they always project their leader as a larger than life chief minister. The Congress has no chance. You're not capturing public imagination.
No, but tell me, Rajnikant failed. So
no, Rajnikant didn't start.
That's what I'm saying. He couldn't come up.
My opinion was he succeeded by not coming. That is the best ever decision he took in his life. He would have been a disaster.
Probably Gurumurthy's advice.
Gurumurthy's advice. The BJP has been consistently listening to Gurumurthy's advice, and they should continue to listen to Gurumurthy's advice, so they will become even more irrelevant.
So coming back to the fortunes of the Congress party, then you represent a family that's been a two-generation political family. Your father, yourself, you're there. So which generation do you blame for the current situation of the Congress party in Tamil Nadu?
My father's generation, no doubt.
And you're just living it now.
Yes, because as I told you, that generation, we were 89, we were contested by projecting Mr. Moopanar, but in 91 we gave up that experiment. In 96 we had a huge opportunity. Narsim Rao didn't play ball, so the separate TMC was formed. But TMC, even without going with DMK at that time, could have really done a very well.
Young viewers and listeners, TMC is Tamil Manila Congress.
Both TMCs were formed at the same time in 96.
मुझे याद है कि मुझे भेजा गया था असाइनमेंट मूपनार जी का इंटरव्यू करने के लिए, और मैंने इंटरव्यू किया और मेरे कैमरामैन मेरे को एक शब्द नहीं समझ आया, बिकॉज his way of talking English also, forget about Hindi में तो वो बोलते ही नहीं थे, but English also was very difficult. He was not a great communicator.
He wasn't, but he was a great organizational man.
The main thing I want to ask you, that if I want to tell this to the viewers also, ma'am, he is a good organizational man.
That's why Shashi Tharoor picked him to organize his election.
And he got the highest votes ever for a contender.
Are you paying the price for it?
I'm paying no price. I think the Congress made a mistake of not co-opting him immediately after that, and then there was a bit of a drift, and now the drift has been sealed, I think. But that drift was unnecessary, in my opinion.
Why you are not being used in your party? Because you look like an organizational man in your optics or in your actions also. Ma'am, Karti ji always wear a band in his hand. And
this band,
he always remembers the vote margin of his elections. In 2019 and 2024, he has margins in 20.
Anyway,
do you remember?
What is that? No, explain. Is that
no? First, I wear this band.
That's a national band.
That's
I have a national flag.
Yeah.
Then in this little amulet, I have the margin of my victory.
Oh, okay.
Margin of your victory. Okay. So, are those
is that to remind you
where how many people?
No, not see. I'm here only because of them, right? They are the ones who sent me here, and I must always ever be grateful. And I must be reminded of it every single day.
It's like the AIDMK used to have Jayalalitha's picture in their pockets, right?
Now they'll have it. Both the DMK and the ADMK do it.
Do you think they're going to AIDMK? Not did I say DMK?
No, both do it. Both the DMK will have Stalin's picture, ADMK will have the Edapadi's picture.
Okay. Really?
Or whoever the leader is, that's their style. Both the parties do it.
It is to remind them of their leaders.
No, it is not to remind them of the leaders. It's to actually to portray to the person who's walking across to know which party they are from and who their leader is. Because it's a transparent shirt where you can see the picture.
So glad you brought that up, because when this alliance of the AIADMK, I know you're from the DMK alliance or India alliance over there, but I'll float this. When the alliance was formed over there of the AIADMK and plus, you saw the lotus symbol also over there. AIADMK cadres over there. Is there any confusion amongst them as well that you've seen of what their alliance is all about? Are they fighting on an AIDMK face or an NDA face?
See,
What do you think is
I'll tell
going
you,
on?
see, the BJP is a drag as far as Tamil Nadu politics is concerned. The BJP is a very successful political party, and I'm sure they do exceedingly well in many, many states. They've been winning some states for years and years and years, but they simply don't get Tamil Nadu. And their brand of politics doesn't gel well with Tamil Nadu. And their brand is whatever the local BJP people do, that's not taken into account. BJP is only looked at from a national prism. And in the national prism, their actions is not something which gels well with the average person from Tamil Nadu. So the BJP is a drag in an alliance. In fact, the ADMK, in my opinion, doesn't benefit from an alliance with the BJP. In fact, some votes which the ADMK would normally get, they won't get because they are in alliance with the BJP. And the BJP is really not see, you're mistaking the BJP from a North Indian perspective of having these karyakartas everywhere, structure and all those things. And in Tamil Nadu, that's not there. Once you go out of the large city, we go to a village area, you will not find any BJP worker or sympathizer there. And even in the urban areas, it is confined to a certain socio-economic class. So it's not a widespread, deep-rooted party in Tamil Nadu.
Were you saying socio-economic? You mean Brahmins?
No. See, Brahmins are 2% of the population.
So that's what I'm asking you. Who do you mean then socio-economic?
Primarily urban Brahmins and some city slickers. That's all it would be.
Youth?
No, there is no pull from the BJP to the youth. The youth are anti-establishment by and large, apathetic towards politics, and the apathetic youth, there is a little bit of a latent energy towards Vijay.
So anti-establishment would be DMK, right? They'd be anti-DMK right now.
No, they're anti-establishment, period. Young people all over the world are anti-establishment. They don't like structured political parties. They don't like
but in India, anti-establishment doesn't mean that they go nota or they don't get angry. They take part in democracy,
Young people don't participate in political activity.
Okay.
Every political party is filled with middle-aged men. It is boring middle-aged men are there in every political party. You go to any political party's meeting, be it DMK, ADMK, BJP, Congress, you won't find young people, idealistic people coming in droves to join the political party as workers or as functionaries. Somebody would have organized, bust them in for one event or something like that, but they are not consistently there. So young people don't like existing political parties. It's not a distaste only for the BJP. They don't come to any political party. So there is no pull from the BJP. See, the national media makes this mistake because of the aura of Modi, which is there in substantial parts of the country, and particularly in North India. They think it's immediately transplanted into all parts of India, without understanding that Modi doesn't have much of a pull in Tamil Nadu.
But when he goes there in the rallies and all that,
rallies are all organized.
But even on the roadside,
yes, that's again organized. Nothing is organic. There's no political party in this country.
But he's really tried, hasn't he?
He's tried. I'll give him 100 marks for trying hard. Trying hard, even to the extent of going to Malaysia and listening to an MGR film song. He tries hard. There's no doubt about that. He discovers Subramania Bharatiyar, he discovers Tirukural. He tries hard in every state.
And look at your party chief. No, he's not trying only.
No. The Congress party in Tamil Nadu and brand equity of Rahul Gandhi, you do any kind of polling, beats BJP and Modi in Tamil Nadu.
That's because of the Gandhi family name, no?
And also on the DMK.
No. On a standalone basis, the Rahul Gandhi beats Narendra Modi in Tamil Nadu. I don't know about any other state, but in Tamil Nadu, he'll beat him hands down because the BJP's brand of Hindutva politics finds very little purchase in Tamil Nadu outside this small socio-economic.
If BJP and Modi were a drag and were not that big of a factor, then why is it the central campaign theme of the DMK in a way? Because all their speeches talk about the threat.
Because it is very convenient for us to bring the bogey of the BJP, and it works well because this is a very weakened ADMK. It is unthinkable for the ADMK in the past to come to Delhi to finalize a political alliance.
Yeah, Delhi would go to AIDMK.
It is unthinkable. This is a weakened ADMK. This is not the ADMK of before. This is not the ADMK of Jayalalitha. This is not the ADMK of MGR. This is an ADMK which is a large political party with a very powerful symbol, but with no distinct leadership. Mr. Edapadi Palaniswamy was an accidental chief minister. He has never won an election. I mean, won an election and not his seat, but won a general campaign. Every election, he has led the ADMK. Post him becoming chief minister, the ADMK has lost. They lost the 2019 election. They lost the 2021 election. They lost the 2024 election. He's lost 3 elections back to back.
So the DMK is okay. So there's the BJP bogey and the AIDMK factionalism that they are talking about. Does the DMK in any way suffer from anti-incumbency,
100%.
corruption issues?
All governments all over the world will have anti-incumbency. There's no doubt about that. That is the nature of politics. People will be dissatisfied because promises are tall. Everybody's promise is tall. I mean, the central government's promise is tall, but the BJP overcomes that with the Hindutva card, which is all forgiving formula. Okay, it doesn't matter what he did or what he did not do. As long as he's true to that Hindutva cause and he's going to go dig every mosque to find a shivling, I'm okay to vote for it. But whereas there will be anti-incumbency against everybody. There's no doubt about it. Even in DMK, there will be anti-incumbency. But when people go out to vote, they will look at the chief ministerial candidate, they look at the alliance, they look at the candidates. In this scenario, the way the election is, in my opinion, is going to pan out, I think the United India Alliance will pip past the post.
Yeah, amazing alliance. When Karti Chidambaram talks about that there's 100% there's anti-incumbency, the DMK mandarins would not like it at all.
But that is natural. Any government will have anti-incumbency. Modi's government also has
Who likes
anti-incumbency.
truth speakers?
Which government does not have anti-incumbency?
Okay, then let me go.
So you think that unless you run an election like Mr. Putin, where you will get 99% vote in every election or 98% vote. Any free democracy, there will be anti-incumbency.
Okay, then I'll go a step further and I'll talk about what Praveen Chakravarti, your data analyst, has talked about high debt to GDP ratio that's happened in Tamil Nadu. He talked about it. He left the DMK alliance right face there.
Listen to me. We have many wings in our party. I was even surprised to find an engineer's wing of the party in Tamil Nadu. So he heads one wing, that's all. It's not the centrality of my party, and neither is he the leader of the Congress party, or is he the voice of the Congress party with a long track record. So that aside. But if you want to measure a state, there are many, many parameters. If I have to measure your fitness, if I only take your eyesight, and do I say you're fit or unfit? Can I say that?
No.
I can't. Can I? I have to look at so many parameters. I have to look at, say, the number of doctors are there per 1,000 people. I'll have to see what is the school-going population of the ratio of the people. How many women go to college? How many babies are born and how many of them survive beyond the first month? What kind of aid we give to pregnancy? So there are 100 factors which you must measure. You can't simply look at it. And even if the debt is there, is the state capable of servicing the debt or not? Is it falling behind in debt servicing, or is it finding a way to service debt? So the Adani group, the much touted Adani group, if you look at that debt, has got one of the highest leverage debts. But look at the stock market, giving a thumbs up to the Adani stock on every single day.
Are you comfortable with that kind of debt that Tamil Nadu has?
I am not comfortable with a lot of things, I told you. Why are you asking me that? I am not government. I would reform a lot of things. I don't like the present form of governance in India. If you give me the magic wand, I will change everything. I will be the most disruptive person you would ever see. I don't believe in this form of governance.
So what would you do for Tamil Nadu, which is
not only
for
Tamil Nadu, for India? I will stop most government schemes, most of these bombastic announcements. I mean, look at the finance minister. I even listed out, for 9 years you have announced so many things. Tell me what's happened. Now, you don't, even now you'll announce, everybody will start. Where is the 100 smart cities in India? Let's stop announcing things. Let's do basic things in this country. Let's lay roads which don't go off in the monsoon. Let's give uninterrupted power supply. Let's make sure there's clean water. Rest the entrepreneurial people of India will take care of. Make sure the government school works well. Make sure people are happy to put their children in government school. Make sure people go to a government medical center and get proper treatment. Make sure policeman is polite when he go and file a complaint. Make sure courts don't have inordinate delays. The pain points of people are what? Police, court, hospital, infrastructure. This is the pain point. Not all these complicated structures. We'll give a 50,000 rupee subsidy for an entrepreneur starting a business in some boondock place which will employ 5 people. I mean, first of all, you will never find an entrepreneur there. Even if you find the entrepreneur, he doesn't have enough capital to start a business. Even if he has all that, the bank is unwilling to give him. Most government schemes, nobody understands. First of all, I don't understand the name of most government schemes. I don't even know the intended purpose. Scrap all government schemes. I think we should give a universal basic income to all people in this country, 5,000 rupees a month directly to your bank account.
How is it not a freebie then?
It's not a freebie. In fact, it is good economics.
Coming back to the system.
Because where do the people spend the money? They're not going to take the money and open an account in Cayman Islands. They will spend the money in 2 kilometer or 3 kilometer radius around their house. It will seed the local economy. This is the best way to seed the rural economy. We are not taking any great factories to the rural areas. Our farming is the most rudimentary farming. We can talk about 100,000 things in the farming, but you go to any district, you will hardly find 10 progressive farmers.
Isn't the BJP doing that when
Where?
they're giving the Ladki Behan, Ladli Behan, all these they're giving it to
I
women?
think you should.
Everybody is doing
That basically everyone is doing it.
Everyone is doing
Even
it.
CM Stalin's budget
I think
last year was
but many
It's a
schemes can be
shortcut of
scrapped.
winning elections
I
now.
think many other
Even
schemes can be
if
scrapped. I think
Jharkhand
you
saw
can make
that.
this. There's nothing wrong in cash transfers. Cash transfers might be a great tool for winning elections, but I also believe it's good economics.
Okay.
It seeds the local economy. Otherwise, how do you give liquidity to a district which is so far flung off, where there is no modern economic activity there? How do you seed that economy?
That is what I am. You are having a good idea, so why don't your party?
My
take it
idea
up?
is I have great
Why-
ideas.
why
He's
don't
the right
you
man.
just
It seems like he's the right man with no party, unfortunately.
That is correct. No, I am. See, you have to understand one thing. For my personality, nature, and outspokenness, no party other than the Congress will tolerate me. So let's be very clear about it. So Congress is the best party for somebody like me who can be and the good thing about the Congress, you can be a free thinker, you can be libertarian, you could be an open market person with the liberal views and still survive in the party.
Karti sir, may I ask an uncomfortable question? And I apologize if I do.
No, nothing is
You
uncomfortable.
talked about the Cayman Islands. You also had foreign bank accounts.
I
According
do have a foreign. I do have assets
what is
outside.
this? What is the status of
If
your
you-
legal issues
You
right
should
now?
actually read the charge sheets against me. In fact, you should actually do a little bit of a podcast on the charge sheets again. You will understand how absurd they are. In fact, what are the charge sheets again? One charge
Chinese
sheet-
visa scam,
yes.
INX media
Yes,
case.
but let's come to the amounts there. The Chinese visa scam is for is a dead man apparently giving cash to a person who was known to me.
Right.
A dead man who's never been interrogated. So that's the level of the case. No public servant named in the case. So I do not know who I corrupted, who I influenced. I could have only influenced a ghost. Because I can't issue a visa, can I? Somebody in the government has to issue
You
a
can
visa.
give recommendations.
But yes,
That's the allegation, right?
And then if I gave my recommendation, which was illegal, and somebody had to act on the recommendation, right? And the person acting on the recommendation is also at fault, correct? But they have not named that person who's fault. So there's no public servant there. So that case is at that level of
If
seriousness.
there's an FIR on you.
The FIR I can file even against you in my Devakote police station. I'll have an
Please
FIR against you.
don't.
You'll be
Till
coming
now.
there. Filing an FIR in India is the easiest thing to do.
Okay.
Another case is for 9,86,000 rupees. Another case is for 25 lakhs rupees. So you must go and actually do an RTI, find out how much the government has spent on legal fees in these cases.
But then
till
the
date.
ED attaches properties worth crores that we
Yeah,
hear
of
about.
course, that is the ED is
And the courts uphold that
I'll tell
attachment
you,
also.
Listen to me. Every draconian act, every cruel act in this world is done under legal veneer. Jesus Christ was crucified because Pontius Pilate gave a judgment against him under Roman law prevailing in Jerusalem at that time, and he was crucified. Every act the ICE is doing in America is by legal sanction. Whatever the Nazis did to Jews was by legal law, because the German parliament passed those, the Reichstag passed those laws, told the Jews can't do business. That if you're even if you're 1/16th of a Jew, you will not be considered German. You will have to wear a David star on your arm. You can't hold a business. It was legal. That was the law. So whatever illegal draconian act which happens in the world happens under legal veneer. So everything which is amoral and according to me completely unconstitutional is being done under legal sanction. Yes, every raid is legal. Every arrest is legal in India because the magistrate signs off. Every custody is legal. Everybody who's not been given bail is legal. There's nothing
But,
holy about
but
this.
my thing is, when the court upholds an
So
attachment, that means your side had a chance to
no,
say.
no.
Then-
You don't understand the procedure of attachment. The first attachment is done by the ED itself.
Right, I
And the
understand.
appellate authority is not a court. It is their own appellate authority. It is only a stamping house. Tell me one attachment they have said no. Tell me one attachment. Give me a track record of an ED attachment which their own adjudicating authority has said no. They won't. They'll only stamp it because it's another IRS officer who's retired who's sitting there. The ED is full of, it doesn't have its own cadre. It's all full of tax collectors and customs fellow. They will go and then stamp it. It's nothing. It means nothing.
On
Just
the
no-
INX
Go
case,
ahead.
haven't they given a list of the payments which have been done to a series of companies?
Yes, they
listed
should.
here?
You should educate me on the payments. I want that money badly.
Okay.
I
And
seriously want that money.
so you have not received any money
Nothing.
for services
Nothing.
rendered?
I don't know anybody on one of them. See, let's be very clear about this. I have never spoken to anybody in government about any private business's interest, asking them to do one thing or the other. I'm categorically telling
There
you
was
this.
no quid pro quo.
There is nothing. You look
Your,
at my,
your
you-
father
you-
was in very, very
Of
important
course,
positions.
I have never told my father to do anything. And look at the bail order of me from the INX case. What does it say? It says that there has been no evidence to suggest that this person has ever spoken, met, or influenced any government servant. That's all. All cases will die, but the cases in India will never die. As Narasimha Rao said, judge will die, lawyer will die, respondent will die, petitioner will die, case will never die. And since I'm the youngest, and unfortunately there are many IAS officers who have all been pulled into this, because without pulling the IAS officer, you can't bring me into the case. All of them, unfortunately, are going through this pain. I will outlive all of them because I'm younger than all of them, but nothing will happen.
Long story short, it's a witch hunt. That's what you're
Of
saying.
course it is.
Now, why a witch hunt against you? You seem to be the dissident voice in Congress
No,
right
it's
now.
not against me.
Then-
See, I'm
then-
not so important. It is a signal to the world at large that if we can go after the former home minister and finance minister, we can go after anybody. It's a signal to the world. That's all. We can harass him, we can block him, we can go after him, we can go after his son, we can go after everybody. It's a signal to the world. That's all. Why is ICE going in masked gunmen going everywhere? It's a show of force. It is to tell anybody who's not ethnically Caucasian in America, hey, I'm watching you. I'll do anything to you. I'll come and ask you for your papers. I can deport you. Even if the slightest transgression, I will check your ID. It's a show of force. It is showing that I can do anything to anybody. That is exactly what this is all about.
Is it really true? Because this is what websites say, that you're the most rated
I am.
person.
I am the
on-
most rated person. And I'm the most rated person, and they found nothing after all the raids.
Well, why has the Congress party not asked for a forensic audit on all these cases?
What can we do? We're not in government. At one time when the wheels turn, there has to be a forensic audit. There was a Nuremberg trial. So there was a Truth and Reconciliation in South Africa. At some point in time, that will also happen to the ED here.
But usually sons of politicians are blamed for becoming products of nepotism. What you are saying is you bear the cross of being your
But I've also got
son of
advantages. I've got the opportunity to contest elections. I'm sure that it has been easier because I'm my father's son. So there's no doubt about that. Name recognition, so much. The advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Maybe because my advantages and my profile is so high, I have to bear this cross as well.
Okay.
So you are okay with your party leadership stand towards you, because we saw the pictures of Mrs. Gandhi visiting in Delhi, Tihar jail, when your father was in.
See, Mrs. Gandhi has always been very, very supportive, and I have hold her in the highest esteem. I think when history is written, you will realize what a remarkable political leader she is. It's just think about it. Just step back and think. As a 19-20-year-old, you go to a country where you do not know anybody except one person you are intending to marry. You have no cultural ties. You don't speak the language. You marry into a very prominent family. Live life there. Then see a brutality of 3 unnatural deaths within a short span of time. Then go through this huge personal mourning, then take over a large political organization which is storied for more than 100 years, then, which is in the doldrums, revive it, come to power. I think it's one of the most
Hasn't the country also given her a lot for what she has done for the country?
Of course, the country has given her a lot of respect and love. But the point is, look at her life. Her life is a remarkable story. Tell me one other person in modern history who you can say has crossed cultural barriers and achieved this kind of success. Tell me, give me one.
The country didn't ask her for sacrifices. It just happened, right?
It happened, fine, but she bore it. She bore it. She carried that burden with her. She carried that personal trauma with her and grief with her, and she still succeeded.
In many of her speeches and in many of her interactions, she hasn't had many with the media, but in that, she does take responsibility for many of the actions which have taken place. I want to ask you that, because you represent the Congress party, why doesn't Rahul Gandhi take responsibility for those 90 odd elections that the party has lost under his stewardship?
See, everybody is responsible. Of course, the leadership is responsible. But the point is, the average party cadre has got a special connection with the Nehru Gandhi family, and they want that family to be the centrality of the leadership of the party. This is not only true of the Congress party. It is true of almost every political party, barring one or two. If you go to the national conference, it will be unthinkable for anybody outside the Abdullah family to be a leader. You go to the, Mufti breaks away from this. And what does he do? I mean, he's only succeeded by his daughter. Mamata Banerjee breaks away from the Congress and starts a new party. Who's her successor? Her nephew. Sharad Pawar breaks away from the party, forms a new party. Who is his successor? His daughter or his late nephew?
You and your father also tried to break away at one point of time.
My father was not the leader of the party. Of course, we broke away unsuccessfully. We came back. Not many. Everybody can
Pranab
run.
Mukherjee also did that.
Pranab Mukherjee did not run a successful political party. Mupanar did not run a successful political party. So we came back to the Congress. Everybody doesn't succeed. And look at the other parties. The parties in which the BJP has alliance with. They have alliance with Chandrababu Naidu's family party. Who do you think is going to succeed Chandrababu Naidu? It will be his son.
Ramados in Tamil Nadu.
What about the Ramdas Anbumani's party, PMK? What about Paswan's party?
Okay.
So what about the Shiv Sena too, when the BJP had alliance with?
One question I have to ask you is about the Dravidian model that one keeps hearing. Is it really a Dravidian model? How is it different from a Tamilian model?
No.
How is it different from a South Indian model?
I'm not here. I'm not the spokesman of the DMK to explain their nomenclature and their definitions.
You're an ally.
Okay, let's go with what Gurumurthy had said. Mr. Gurumurthy had said. It's the Dravidian model under the DMK is Karunanidhi family plus anti-Brahmanism.
No. There is no this for victimhood of the Brahmins must stop. Really, it must stop. I'm telling you. Let's stop. Where is the violence against the Brahmins? Brahmins are the most privileged people in this country, and they are very privileged in Tamil Nadu too. They are the biggest. They're big industrialists. They are lawyers. They are doctors. They are actors. They are in every profession. Where is the discrimination? And this for Brahmin victimhood must stop. Nothing. There has been no genocide against the Brahmins. There is no violence against the Brahmins. This is a completely an erroneous narrative which is being spread at all times. At one point of time, they completely control the bureaucracy. Even today, they control the bureaucracy to a great extent. They hold high positions in government all over India. If you look at the judiciary, they have a disproportionate number of people who come from their community. So where is this victimhood coming from?
I think the Brahmins will identify with you a lot because they also, like you, aren't finding either party is using them as a political tool. Taking it for granted, right?
Who's
the BJP is doing most of its policies are garnered towards OBCs and others. The Congress does the same thing. Their vote is taken for granted.
The Brahmins are not the only general caste in India, and reservation in India is limited to government institutions. It is not like affirmative action which goes through all private sector as well.
But that is the demand right now.
No. Whether it comes, when it comes, we'll see that. At the moment, it's not there. So this victimhood of Brahmins must stop. There has been no genocide of Brahmins in Tamil Nadu. There is no violence against Brahmins in Tamil Nadu. There is no threat to the safety of Brahmins in Tamil Nadu. Nobody is going and disrupting any ritual of the Brahmin in Tamil Nadu or any practice of the faith in Tamil Nadu.
And for Sanatan Dharma?
What is Sanatan? That is not a term which anybody in Tamil Nadu uses. And nobody, I am more Hindu. You are from South India, so probably you are as Hindu as more Hindu or equally Hindu as me. We are more Hindu than the North Indians. There are per square kilometer, we have more temples. We break more coconuts every day. I go to more temples than a lot of people collectively in the BJP. There is not a single day I would step out of the house without putting vibhuti or
then why
this Sanatana Dharma is not a term we use.
Maybe not a term, but you know what I mean.
No, that is, see, you have to...
You're again going to say that it's vegetarianism.
Correct, it is.
It is not. It's not necessary.
No, I grew up in my grandparents were very religious. My faith, and my parents are not, but my grandparents are very religious. My grandmother didn't take me to the puja room and say, come, let's practice Sanatana.
Are you putting vibhuti on your forehead? That itself is Sanatana, no?
This is not, so this whole thing became a controversy because Udayanidhi Stalin said something against this term, but it is
He
not
didn't say
against
something against it. He started wiping it out.
This is not,
that is the reason why it got extrapolated into something
Tamil
more.
Nadu, that term means caste hierarchy. That is how we use it.
So your definition of Sanatan is different from North Indian definition.
Correct. In our popular parlance, it means caste hierarchy. He was only talking about caste hierarchy. I know that nobody talks about the practice of the Hindu faith. Tamils go to there is no prohibition on the practice of the faith in Tamil Nadu. Absolutely none. Nobody can say, be it from any community, any socio-economic group, to say my practice of the faith is fettered in Tamil Nadu. It is not. It is completely free.
I think Karti has to go for a meeting.
We'll wind it up. We'll continue.
I can continue if you can come back after that. So this is the first time we're doing this, where we interrupted our conversation because Karti had to go for a case which he had to be present in court. So we are resuming the next day. And you know how it is with news, right? There's like a fall of news again. So Karti, since we spoke yesterday,
exactly the same.
Exactly.
So completely
we thought we're going to have continuity, but then what to do? Your state is all the time doing stuff, right?
So if they do stuff, it pops up, and others do it, you welcome it.
So we're going to talk today about what the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu has just announced. He's credited rupees 3,000 in advance and the standard monthly allocation of an additional 2,000 as summer special bonus for women. And the Chief Minister also said that funds have already been credited to 1.31 crore women under this new scheme. How do you react to that?
I wholeheartedly welcome it.
Okay.
I've been a consistent supporter of direct cash transfers. This is akin to universal basic income. This money goes into the women's bank account directly. There is no leakage. And the women spend the money in their locality, and it seeds the local economy. Mm-hmm. This is, in fact, in my opinion, a very good economic tool to seed the local economy. This is much better than complicated government programs where people don't understand how to get the benefit and the administration does not know how to administer it. And there is so much bureaucracy. This cuts through all the red tape. It directly goes to their bank account. They have the freedom to spend it what they want, and they will spend it, and everything comes under the ambit of GST. Tax collection comes back to the government, and it helps the local economy, because where did they spend? If you actually do a study, it will be in a radius of 2 to 3 kilometers. They will go to a sweet shop, they might go to a tailor, make some clothes for themselves, buy a notebook for the child, maybe whatever. It's everything is in the local economy. They are not going elsewhere to spend the money, and this seeds this is the best way to seed the rural economy, because you see, manufacturing is not going to create the jobs we think it's going to create in the future, because it's going to become very, very automated and very knowledge driven. And we only have to be a service oriented country. And in the rural economy, there's nothing much happening there. This is a good impetus to keep the rural economy going. And in fact, I'm a wholehearted supporter of this from an economic point of view. And UBI, Universal Basic Income, is a good idea.
So why does the Congress party then say that the BJP buys votes when they also come up with the similar scheme?
I personally do not criticize direct cash transfers. Yes, the incumbent government has an advantage over the challenger, because incumbent government can do this before the election, right. Whereas the challenger can only promise, and the person who does it has always better goodwill than the person who promises. I agree that there is a disadvantage to the party in opposition, and is gravely advantageous to the party in government. I agree with that.
Is this the situational problem that is
what unless
what's the limit though? Where do we keep going
the election
from this?
commission? Then see, the election commission is not behaving as a neutral arbitrator in this country. Let's be very frank about it. The election commission was a storied organization, but it's now a very sorry organization. If they can put standard protocol saying 3 months before, 6 months before, or something like that, and stick to it. But then they came up with this ingenious argument saying this was a continuing program, so there's no embargo. So, I mean, if everybody gets wiser by looking at what's happening, and the DMK
the tools which are available.
The DMK has just used the pitch which is there to bat. That's all.
Okay. I think the critics over here are saying that these transfers were paused for a while, and then there's an additional summer allowance of 2,000.
No, no.
At one go, it was sent
No,
out.
that is not true. What he has clearly said, I heard the Chief Minister speak today. He has said that the Election Commission will stop the next 2 months. I'm giving you the next 2 months in advance, and I'm also giving you a summer bonus. That's all he has.
It is back to Praveen Chakravarti's argument about high debt to GDP
There
ratio.
are other programs we can cut.
It's the direct benefit transfer that you're saying is cash allowance. That's one thing. Then there are other things where the DISCOM borrowings of Tamil Nadu are disproportionately higher than other states. There are so many metrics over here. There, it just seems that it's a spigot that doesn't end,
See,
of freebies.
Every state in India has got a debt burden. That is one factor. But Tamil Nadu has got many factors which are positive. I accept that the high debt burden might be a negative, but that is not the only reason to diss the state. The state has so many other things going for it. It has clocked 11% growth, which is the highest in India in the past year. Right. So there are many things which are going there. If you're going to have an academic discussion on how to reduce debt, then we should start from the central government and then work towards all the 30 state governments. Why single out one government and say we're not doing great?
So you talked about the Bihar thing, that the criticism came at that time also when 10,000 was given to Bihar. And this is also what Tamil Sai Sandarajan has also said. That, okay, you talk about Bihar. So Bihar also has prohibition. But in this case, 5,000 will go to the women, that's fine. But prohibition will not come in Tamil Nadu anytime soon. TASMAC will continue to be
a failed policy world over. It was a failed policy in America. There is no country in the world where there's effective prohibition. You can go to Gujarat and get a drink. Maybe we both of us should go to Gujarat next time and let's get a drink there. It is a failed policy. This kind of hypocritic policies don't work. It will push everything to the underground. The black market will thrive. Mafias will be created. It is better to keep everything above board, regulate it, tax it, other than pushing things underground. I do not believe in prohibition. It has never failed. In all these countries, even in Islamic countries which claim to be have prohibition, do you think people don't get a drink? They do get a drink there.
That's true.
These hypocritic policies all don't work with me.
That's true. Okay, let's pivot political because we are coming towards the end of the conversation. Because you spoke about Bihar, it just suddenly struck me that comment that came in that we don't want pani puri walas coming into.
It was wrong. It was an exceedingly wrong and insensitive comment. Tamil Nadu requires guest workers. Tamil Nadu welcomes guest workers. Tamil Nadu is a safe haven for guest workers. Without guest workers, many sectors will suffer. Particularly the construction sector and many service sectors too will suffer, because Tamil Nadu and Kerala have moved up socially. As a society moves socially, people tend not to do certain jobs. So we need people to come and fill that gap. And this is also an indication of the strength of the Tamil Nadu economy. Where do people move? People always move from a weaker economy towards a stronger economy. That is also an indicator. But we welcome guest workers. They are welcome in Tamil Nadu. They're safe in Tamil Nadu and we need them.
So Chandrababu Naidu has asked people from his state that, produce more children, because otherwise you'll have people from other states coming in. Even Mr. Stalin has said the same thing, that we should have.
I'm not in agreement with that. I'm not in agreement with that. That this replacement population is going down, but our threshold is so high. Actually, we'll benefit by lowering population.
Our country's
population itself is lowering. I know that people say that replacement population is not happening, so population will go
because
down.
South states are losing.
But I don't have a
ratio. Total
but I don't have a problem with that, because I think the lower population can be more efficient. Technologies, I think you can manage that. I don't support the proposition put forward by the Andhra Chief Minister and the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister.
Okay, one question: have you seen Durandhar?
No, I haven't, but I've been told that I have a cameo there. So, I've been told, but it's in Hindi, but I've also been told it's a 3-hour long movie. So maybe in my multiple flights, I'll watch it. But if people, want to, I hope the producer had called me and asked me who they should cast as my cameo or as something like that. I would have given some suggestions.
Like what? Who would you suggest to play your role?
Oh, Pierce Brosnan, maybe.
Okay. And your dad's role?
I don't know. Maybe
Sean Connery.
Maybe Michael Caine or somebody like that.
Okay.
if people can mix up fact, fiction, and WhatsApp forwards, what can I do?
So you think that sequence is completely?
If I'd actually, okay, let's get into that. If you really think it happened, shouldn't the government of India have some records?
Explain what happened for people who have not watched the
Let them watch it if they want
if it has happened.
Basically,
I'm not promoting
but it's about currency plates.
No, if the government of India doesn't have records, do you think does anybody even understand it? This, unfortunately, I mean, thanks to WhatsApp and Mark Zuckerberg, it's people can't sift through fact and fiction, and everything merges in this Maya world. Now it's with AI, it's only going to get worse. But that's so be it. I mean, they also say that. I mean, I have they said that I have 24 properties in 25 countries. If that's only possible if one property is on the border of two countries. You know that, no? If how can I have 24 properties in 25 countries? The only way that's possible is one house has to be in two on the border.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, then there's this very famous WhatsApp forward. It says that we grow cauliflower and we in balconies.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to
on
correct
the terrace
you.
in Lodi Garden?
No. We actually grow asparagus. Not cauliflower. I want to correct that.
Okay.
That is what we grow in the balconies in pots.
Yeah. Cash crop. Real cash crop.
Yeah.
Okay. Even there, you're growing a cash crop. Okay.
Asparagus. I just want to clarify that.
Take it.
So I just want to come to the cash transfer point.
Cash पे फिर आ गए तुम.
Ma'am, just a moment.
This is a political point. The political
question.
SOP.
That if it is, you are supporting it, is a necessary thing, it's a good step. Why only before elections? You are having a government for 5 years.
No, they're doing it.
One more, sir. And this idea started from the Congress party itself. Kamal Nath ji announced in Madhya Pradesh, although he was in opposition when he announced, and Shivraj Singh Chauhan was in power, he announced and Shivraj Singh Chauhan implemented, and the results were there. So why not?
Ladli Behan.
But didn't Karunanidhi also give color TVs also at that time?
Yeah,
I don't believe in giving goods.
Sorry.
No, I mean, I would not give goods. I would do only cash transfer, because the people must have the freedom to decide what they want to spend it on. Some of them might save it. Some of them buy something which is a lot more durable. So that freedom must be given to people. I don't believe in giving products. I only believe in direct cash transfer. Let's start calling it universal basic income from now on. Let's have this term going on. UBI. It's not direct cash transfer. It's giving people a supplemental.
The country has moved towards it.
Yeah, we are giving a supplemental basic income. You call it even SUBI, you call it. Supplemental universal basic income. Let's come up with that term now.
So do you want
I think they do it every month. If I become Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, I will make 5,000 rupees universal basic income for women every month. I will cut many other unnecessary schemes.
Give me 5 things that you do if you were Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu.
First thing is, I will make sure that the police are friendly, are responsive, and everything what they do, every complaint is tracked online, professionalize, and make sure that they are a people-friendly force. At the same time, they are tough on law and order. Second, improve the basic infrastructure of roads. I say the 3 things which India always falls short of are 3 things: the pipe, the wire, and the road. Fix those 3 things. Make sure ration shops work well. Make sure government schools are funded and you have adequate teachers. And give this basic income. And all other enterprise and all other fancy schemes, all we can stop. We are an entrepreneurial people. A business will thrive on its own.
Would you like to be in the government in case the DMK wins?
See, that's the question we can't answer today. The first step is for us to have negotiations and finalize the seats. Next is to identify the seats. Next is to identify candidates. Next to have a campaign. Then win the election. Then post the results to see how the decks are stacked up. We can take a call on that.
And top 3 things if you were made Tamil Nadu Congress president?
Oh, I will do very, very radical things which my party might not necessarily like. But you see, I don't believe in this open membership. I think all parties exaggerate their membership and they confuse sympathizers with members. Many people are sympathizers to political parties. So you can't give a missed call and say, I'm a member of a political party. You can't say, I filled a form online and I became a member of a political party. If you're a member, you're an active member and you participate in activities. And I personally think there'll be about 150 people who are active members per assembly in any political party. Anything beyond that is they're just coming there occasionally. I would limit that. I would limit the membership to only people who are active. And those limited units will decide who the potential candidate will be, who the office bearers will be. And we have too many wings in the Congress party. I mean, I would do away with too many wings. I mean, we have an engineers wing, you have a sportsman wing. It's just too fragmented. I would consolidate all that and voice out on local issues. See, politics is very local. The problem with the Congress in Tamil Nadu is we speak about national issues and we always take a posture against the BJP alone. And the BJP is not a factor in Tamil Nadu. So even if we are in alliance with somebody, we must point out local issues. And the Congress fails in that. And I would articulate the local issues a lot more, and then hopefully gravitate towards mass support and then take
You
it
have
forward.
picked up even at the parliament level when you talk about urban decay matters, you talk about
I had something
stray
very interesting to talk today in Parliament, but it got adjourned.
and the stray dogs menace. Yeah, what would you like?
Oh, today I wanted to talk about nomination of bank accounts when a person dies. It's so complicated.
Yes.
Somebody dies, there's some bank accounts are nominated. Some they have a nominee who is normally the administrator of the bank account, and then the proceeds go to all the legal heirs. Sometimes people don't have a nominee. Then the banks become so, even when they have a nominee, it's a little complicated for them to transfer the control of the account to the nominee. They take inordinate time. When there is no nominee, the legal heirs are just made to run helter-skelter.
Unless there's a registered will.
No, then you see that
And
sometimes that family, that money is necessary even for their daily living. And because that would be the only money where they won't give it to the widow. They will tell her, bring me your marriage certificate. Then there are 3 children are there. Make sure that all legal heirs are present at the same time. One would be working in another place. Banks are so unsympathetic at that time of grief. And I think the government must bring a charter to banks we must have a citizens charter which mandates banks to do certain things. Then this KYC business. Every year to do KYC again and again. When nothing has changed in your data, your name is not changed, your address is not changed, nothing has changed. Why are you asking KYC?
There are so many scams in this country. That's why they're
even if you do that, scams will happen. But you can't do. The only question should be asked: is there any change in your data? Not ask you to submit it. I mean, and what happens if you don't submit it every year? Your bank account is frozen for some time. My bank account here was frozen. Of course, apart from the ED, even the bank's frozen because I did not give my Aadhaar card again. I mean, I had to tell them. My Aadhaar card number has not changed. It's the same Aadhaar card from the last time. So what is the point of giving the Aadhaar card again? They wanted a copy of the Aadhaar card again.
Cumbersome KYC.
Yeah, it is cumbersome KYC. And what they do is they do a lot of data fishing through that. Every year they'll add one more thing to ask from you. Give me your income certificate. Give me your insurance policy. They'll keep on asking this. Then they use it. They use that data to market unnecessary things.
I thought it's just common citizens who face it. Even you guys face it. Huh?
Yeah, but then I solved it. But I solve it quicker than others because of what we have. But if you're an older person, the most bizarre thing was somebody had to say that this person was there. They said, give a certificate to say he's alive. Yeah. Then because an old person, they gave a certificate they was alive. The most bizarre question was asked then. Give me a certificate that he was alive last year. So it becomes as bizarre as that.
Right.
Yeah. And they asked the old
proof
person
of life.
Proof of life. They gave a proof of life for this year. Then they said, we missed out for last year. Give a proof of life for last year. This is how illogical this has become. Yeah. Then they ask persons. They ask an old person, come to the bank directly. The biometrics is not working. Yes, because old people have. It's a harassment.
So what I've heard is that basically the district magistrate or the collector, वो घर आ सकते हैं. Or if the person, suppose somebody's got a stroke, you need the pension, right? He or she cannot come for proof of life to the bank. So they are supposed to come home and do it. They're supposed to come home, and it happened with my grandmother. You're supposed to come home and do it, and then they say you give bribe. 4,000 rupees, you give bribe.
This harassment of KYC and re-KYC, and they also outsource this re-KYC to various agencies who keep on harassing you, calling you, come to the bank, and everything. If you don't come to the bank, I'm going to freeze your account. That's the only account. All direct debits are going from that. Their GPays from that, and everything is stalled. So we need to have. I'm urging the government to come up with a charter which says that this is the basic rights people have, and it's an asymmetry in terms of negotiation. The bank will say, okay, if you're not happy, close the account and go. Because the bank doesn't care.
No, but the pensions and all are very complicated. It comes only to that bank.
That is why we need to have a charter. Banks need to be reined in. They need to say, and we need to have one customer service number which will be manned by a public authority which will log in all complaints. The complaining to their bank's customer service is a useless process. First of all, you'll have to go press 1 to say your problem A. Press 2 for problem. By the time you reach somebody, it takes forever. We must have a real person picking up a phone, and at a national level, one customer complaint place where it's centrally it will be mandated, and they will farm it to the bank, and within 24 hours if they don't sort it, there must be penalties and things like that. People's rights must be put forward. Banks, because of their size, can't be arrogant.
So one more thing, just with the permissions of my
course,
editors,
yeah,
I just want to ask you is about your agenda for 2029, because you are the second term member of parliament, but we don't see your any connection with your organization, any role in your organization.
Till has not given me a role in the organization. I want a role in the organization, but I only want a role in the organization in Tamil Nadu. I don't want any national role, because I believe that unless you speak a language, you can't be effective in any state, and the only languages I speak are Tamil and English. So I want a role in the organization befitting my experience and whatever I am. And if that opportunity is given, I'll take it within Tamil Nadu.
But have you been?
No, I've expressed my desire privately, publicly many times.
Are they forthcoming?
See, I am not necessarily somebody who's I'm a bit of a out of the box maverick, perhaps, but I believe Tamil Nadu needs that. I think we need somebody a little bit unconventional in Tamil Nadu, but there are powers that be which need to decide that.
With the vote share, which is now in the low single digits, you do need something out of the box.
We are at a 5% party. It depends on which district we are. We could be the number one party in one district, which is Kanyakumari. We'll be the number 3 party in my district. And in every other place, we could be anything between 4 and 7.
You had 9 years ago said the Congress is a family-owned enterprise. Has anything changed in the Congress since then?
It's not about the Congress alone. You see, the centrality of almost all political parties in India is a family. That is because the family, the cadre seem to have a emotional bond with the family. So I have never seen leadership move from family to non-family in any political party. So this is an unfair taint only on the Congress party. We can start from the national conference there, go all the way to the DMK, the PMK, the TDP, Naveen's party, Biju Janata Dal, TMC. So this is a South Asian thing. What has happened in Bangladesh? Who's become prime minister today? He was 17 years, he was in Britain. He came only because his mother was ailing. Khalid Rahman, I think.
Khalid Zia's son. Yes.
He's 60 years old. He left when he's 17 years. He's not come to the country. He comes back here, has a landslide victory. What is he? It is family. His family is the centrality of that party.
So it's not a negative.
Not
aspect.
at all. Nobody.
It's a fact of life.
It is the uppity class. It's a good talking point for the uppity class in drawing rooms, but it has no meaning on the ground.
But you can see it with the elections in India, sir.
Not at all. Which party has been punished?
How do you explain PM Modi's popularity there?
That is different. That is about Hindutva. He's not winning because Congress is the centrality of the Congress party is a family. He's winning because that Hindutva agenda overrides everything else in the Hindi heartland. That's all.
No, but Mr. Vajpayee also came from a non-family
I agree. There are two
Mr.
political...
Deve Gowda came, Mr. Gujral came, Chandrasekhar
Deve
came.
Gowda is a bad example. Please, he runs the most family...
No, I'm saying when he became prime minister, he didn't.
But if you see brute force of
when was the last Gandhi who became a prime minister?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Precisely. Please educate
Rajiv Gandhi.
When was that?
Rajiv Gandhi, 30 years ago. Yeah, but you said it 9 years ago. That's
when I said about the party, that is the party's leadership is centered around families. That is a South Asian phenomena, and that is the reality. And there is no point in fighting it because the cadre accept it. The cadre accepted in DMK, the cadre accepted in TDP, the cadre accepted in National Conference, the cadre accepted in Akali Dal, the cadre accepted in Congress. The Congress is not the only party. So to constantly put this bar against only the Congress is patently unfair.
Is it possible at all to have a political party which does not talk about caste, about religion? Is it possible at all in India? Because you did float the idea once.
There is an urban middle class political formation is possible.
AAP tried it to some extent.
AAP tried it, but then they immediately set up candidates all over the place. They even put a candidate in Shivaganga. There were 7 people with the topi and a broom running around. I thought they were Wendy the ghost. So that's how they looked like. So they should have stuck to an urban agenda. If they're only stuck to the metropolitan cities, they would have perhaps had a little bit more uptick. But now it's a sort
Even
of
Prashant Kishore tried it, didn't
no,
work.
I don't know what his politics is or what his agenda was. His was much more of a rural Bihar-based politics. I don't know, but
But again, sans caste, sans class,
no, it
sans
can. But politics
religion.
takes time. You can't just do one election and say my agenda has been rejected or accepted. It takes time. So, but there is, I think there is need for an urban middle class or lower middle class agenda based political formation, and that can happen within existing parties too, but the existing parties don't do it enough. See, really, we must see the struggle of somebody making who's moving from a village to a city, making 25,000 to 40,000 rupees. I think his or her struggle is worth chronicling and articulating politically.
Will you push for that, as he said?
I do it all the time.
For
I do it all the time.
2029 as
I do it all the time. 2029, I don't know whether I'll have a national role. I'm not a national player. I mean, I know my limitations, and I want to be, first of all, a much more of a player in Tamil Nadu before I can, expand anything else.
Karti sir, how is your relationship with Rahul Gandhi's advisors? With Rahul
I don't
Gandhi,
know who he seeks advice from, but my relationship with him is fine.
who does he seek advice
I don't
from?
know that. You should ask him. I don't know who he seeks advice from, but my conversations with him is very cordial. Even I had a very cordial conversation with him even last evening.
So how do you see him as an LOP? Because it's the first time that Rahul Gandhi has become the leader of the opposition after Sonia Gandhi.
Yeah, he's obvious. If the BJP is stifling him, then obviously he's got something right. The BJP, obviously takes him seriously. Otherwise, why should they stifle him?
How do you see the presence of Priyanka Gandhi?
It's good. I wish she speaks up more, travels more, meets more party people across the country, because there is a lot of goodwill for her. I wish to see her more in other parts of India, but she's just become an MP. Maybe she's finding her feet around, but there is a lot of goodwill for her in lots of parts, and India generally likes women leaders.
Okay, so we have a couple of snap reactions that we want from you. What do you have to say about Annadurai?
A great leader, well-read man of letters, absolutely articulate, great sense of timing and wit as well.
Do youth in the state still identify with his ideas?
Annadurai is still venerated in Tamil Nadu, but the original Annadurai's thoughts, I don't know how many the youngsters know about it, but he was an exceedingly well-read man who wrote extensively and spoke extensively.
Okay.
And he was a scholar politician.
All right.
Accidental chief minister.
Do people? I was listening to some podcasts and we saying then, and I think even you said that nobody I know of who said that we are going to vote for Palaniswamy. They might vote for Jayalalitha's party.
He's an accidental chief minister. Obviously, he's come through.
Has he come out of the shadow of Amma?
No, not yet. I mean, that he can't. He doesn't have the personality. He's trying to keep the organization together, but there's no uptick for him on a personal level. Nobody who's even upset with the present government, who's neutral, who's politically neutral, will say, I want Edappadi Palaniswamy to be my chief.
Karti sir, is he the natural heir to basically the legacy of Amma?
No, I think I said he was accidental, and the accident is continuing. That's all.
Okay. All right. The next one. Himanta B. Sarma.
He needs to take a Mauna Vrata at some point of time.
Okay.
I would Vipassana, is it? That's what I would recommend that very strongly for him.
Post-election, probably.
No, even now. I mean, obviously aim went wrong, so but he can take Vipassana.
All right. Next, Jayalalitha.
A very tragic life, a very lonely life, had huge potential, completely went astray. I feel sorry for her. Yes, but people have, so fond. Many have fond memories of her. But a very tragic life. A young girl who was very academically oriented, who didn't want to get into movies, was pushed into it by a very pushy, ambitious mother. And then, in those days, there was no Me Too movement. And in those days, it was very rough
exploitation
for a young girl at that age, maybe 16, 17, with a lot of older people. It wouldn't have happened now. It can't happen now. It would have come up. I think she braved all that. It's a life of struggle and a lonely life, but had huge potential, but I never lived up to her potential.
Annamalai?
I know, the BJP attempted an experiment with him, but that obviously experiment didn't work, and so they've moved on.
Isn't his heart in his right place?
See, he's not an ideologically Sangh Parivar man. He was shopping for a political party, and he resigned. He's an ambitious man. I know him. He's a friend of mine. He was an ambitious man. I don't think he's ideologically a Sangh Parivar man at all. And when he came into politics, he was fondly hoping that Rajinikanth will start a party and that he could go and be the face of that party. When Rajinikanth wisely did not start a party, he was shopping for a political party, and BJP was shopping for somebody who came from a quote-unquote non-Brahminical background, who to sort of to be its face, and so he latched on to the BJP. But they tried an experiment, but of course they didn't have the stomach to continue with that experiment, and so he's in the sidelines.
In the general elections, he did manage to take BJP's number up double digits.
See, they had alliance with lots of caste outfits. It's not purely a BJP vote. For example, in my constituency, they had a caste outfit candidate who contested on a BJP ticket. So it's not really a BJP vote.
Okay.
Oh, he had the greatest sense of humor. I mean, the quickest witted person I have met in my life. And he was an absolute genius with words, and he understood situational comedy better than anybody else.
Written and spoken.
And his spoken instant situational comedy was outstanding.
And do you feel that either his son or his daughter or grandson, anybody?
No, nobody has his wit. I mean, his spontaneous wit was outstanding, and I've experienced it a number of times personally, because I'm also somebody who's quite I consider myself reasonably quick-witted, so it was always fun talking to him. But his son Stalin has been an exceedingly hard worker. He's a hard worker.
Why is it that none of them from that family, including Karunanidhi, tried to make it on the national scene?
See, I think Karunanidhi very cleverly always said that he knew his limitations. I think, I always talk about Gavaskar. I mean, somebody who I also idealize as a cricketer. He knew his limitations. Gavaskar did not play all the shots, but he still scored 10,000 runs. Short strokes. He did not.
Yeah, but the front... Okay.
Yeah, but he didn't hook too often. He knew in the bouncer was there, he ducked. So he knew what to play and what not to play, and he used to leave a lot of balls. In fact, when you see Gavaskar bat in the opening hour, it would be quite slow, because he would in the first hour he would actually leave most of the balls which are going outside the off stump.
But he had a Vishwanath to do it. Who did Karunanidhi have for stroke?
He had a lot of people in his team. They came from a different cut of cloth, and they had a lot of stalwarts in this party at that time. They had Nedunjali, and there are many. The DMK is a party which came out of fire. You can fault them for many things, but they came through, and they have an ideological mooring, and they came through a struggle. So you must give them that credit.
Okay, will it be difficult for Udaynidhi to establish himself because of this legacy?
As time goes by, people do have a little bit of a distaste to legacy politics. I agree with that. They have as society becomes more and more middle class and urbanized, they will have a distaste for legacy politics. I completely understand that.
Okay.
And there will be complications. But Stalin had to overcome all that through his hard work. See, one thing about MK Stalin, I will say, is that nobody will say that he said a harsh word about them. You can't find a word. He said something nasty about a political opponent. He said something nasty to a person. He's been a big consensus builder. He doesn't have his father's oratory skills. He doesn't have his father's instantaneous wit. But he compensated that by sheer grit of hard work and being patient, and by keeping everybody together. Today in Tamil Nadu, people will say a lot of things about DMK. This person said that, this person said this. But you will never ever be able to point a finger and say, Stalin said something distasteful. And that has been his biggest strength. And he's been able to keep not only his party, but also the coalition together through his attitude. And I think that's a remarkable strength he has.
Okay, so we've spoken about Stalin, right? Nirmala Sitharaman, also from your state, but then represents Karnataka.
I complimented her on her 9th budget. I think for her to present 9 consecutive budgets as a finance minister from a political party which draws its genesis from the RSS, which is an all-male organization, is remarkable. But she's not faced a direct election. I think after so many years, I think they should have fielded her in some constituency, but they haven't.
I think she's also hesitant about
I think it seasons a person. The minute you become a constituency MP, your perspective changes as opposed to being a non-constituent MP.
Okay. Mr. Chidambaram.
I don't think I should,
the conflict of interest.
So what should I say? There is an interest, there's no conflict.
Okay.
Okay. But, everybody talks about father-son relationships in political families. Whatever exposure I have had of interviewing father and son, I have seen that sons are usually, when they have a father who's like been so successful, you're overshadowed to a large extent. To come out of that shadow is hard.
I am known as my father's son. That's the first thing people always recollect about me, or even when they see me, that's the first thing which pops into their mind. So, but I am his son. Yeah, we have a formal relationship because he had a very formal relationship with his father. But because of my politics, we spend a lot of time together now. And as we are both getting older, and he's 80 and I'm 54, it's also eased up a lot more. But we are different personalities. He's a perfectionist, whereas I'm a generalist. So we agree on a lot of things the world wise, but our styles differ.
And with your mother, what is your relationship?
I'm very close to my mother. I'm very, very close to my mother. My mother is also 80. In fact, her birthday is a few weeks away. My father turned 80 a few months ago. They're the same age. I'm very close to my mother, and my political interest is only because of her, because she really fed me politics as a toddler. Because even as a toddler, she would read the newspaper to me, make me write the headlines of the day in the newspaper, teach me big words. In fact, she even read the Rise and Fall of the Third Reich when I was a little boy. So I knew all the Nazi.
It's a huge book.
She read that whole book to me when I was a child, and at that time
how old were you?
I must have been 3. So and she explained the story to me. She would translate words to me. So I knew about even the Watergate scandal when I was 3 years old. That's what was happening when I was about 3. Nixon was resigning, and at the time, obviously, my English was not very strong. So she would translate every word to me. So I owe all my political interest, vocabulary, interest in
legal
reading.
matters.
I'm a lawyer. I studied law to please my parents.
Both your parents.
I studied law to please my parents.
Real world experience also.
Yeah. So I studied law to please my parents. I did my undergrad in the US, which I played tennis for the university there. I was an undergrad. I did business administration. After that, I was at a bit of a wit's end like everybody else. And then parents were always encouraging you to study law. I said, okay, if I get into a good university, I will study law. And I got into Cambridge. My father was the most pleased about that in my life, that when I got into Cambridge. But I studied law only to please them. But I made it clear I won't practice after. That. I don't have the patience.
Were they happy about you getting into politics? I mean, your mother would have been, but your dad?
I don't think anybody had a doubt that I'd get into politics. This is something which I was, even as a child, I was only around a political environment. I would do mock meetings. The first meeting I ever spoke in my life was in 1977. I was 6 years old. My grandmother wrote a poem. My grandmother was a very good poet. In fact, she was a very close friend of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. She wrote a poem which I went and recited on stage in Tamil. And my father used to translate Mrs. Gandhi's speeches. I would go there. There's one meeting I clearly remember in the beach. There are only 3 people on the stage. My father, Indira Gandhi, and me, sitting in one corner as a little boy. So I have grown up in politics. In fact, I think I outrank every single MP here. I don't think, in the Congress party in terms of the first political meeting. Because my first political meeting was 1977.
Oh, good Lord. When the Janata Party came to power.
Yeah, 1977 when
you were 6 years old.
I was 6 years old and my father contested an assembly election. I decided, so technically speaking, I am the senior most person in the Congress party in the parliament today.
Okay. All right. Periyar.
A very forward-looking man, and very controversial too. And he was an agent provocator. He said very provocative things, no doubt about that. But an exceedingly forward-looking man in terms of women's rights. But you needed to be a provocator in order to get that thing there. But what happens in today's commentary is they take snatches of what was controversial or offensive and forget about what was progressive. So, but if you analyze anybody's life, there will be gray, black, and white. So, but we needed Periyar in Tamil Nadu. And Periyar's spirit is still alive in Tamil Nadu, and it's important for that in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
And he was a congressman, by the way. He was Congress president of Tamil
Yeah.
Nadu. Mhm.
Shashi Tharoor?
Oh, close friend, extremely articulate man, with great talents, and the Congress party should have used him more. But everything is okay now. But we should have used him a lot more in the past as well. We missed an opportunity with him.
Okay. Savarkar?
Again, like Periyar has a very depends on who you ask, a different perspective. Historical figures are not black and white. As far as I'm concerned, and you have to look at them in totality. There will be pluses, there will be minuses, and you can't judge them today because what decisions they took at that time were based on their knowledge at that time. See, when Gandhi's social views would be looked at a little bit even outdated today, but he was a man born 150 years ago. My grandfather's views, I won't agree with them today because my grandfather his education, his exposure was very different from mine. So it's very, very wrong to pass judgment. That's why when people keep faulting Nehru, they're wrong. You should look at it from that timeline. You can't be looking at it 100 years later and saying what you did was right, what you did was wrong. Everything is situational. Why did India, side with the Soviet Union? Because at that time we were coming out of a colonial rule, and it was natural for us to go to a workers kind of a collective. It was natural. That is what every other country which was coming out of colonial rule was doing. So it's exceedingly wrong to pass judgment on historical figures. I know people are very rough on Churchill in India. I mean, somebody who I to an extent admire because he stood up to the Nazis. Because
you can't forgive the Bengal famine, though.
You can't forgive the Bengal famine. You can't forgive the Bengal famine. He was a racist. He was an outright racist. But every white man at that time was racist, and most old white men are even racist today. I would even say President Trump is quite racist. So all white men are racist. It's like everybody's great grandfather in this country would have been casteist. Would have been casteist because that was the social order at that time. So you can't pass judgment only on
slave
one thing.
owners and
he withheld food and stuff.
Yeah,
Millions died
course.
in Bengal. So
there is
I can understand him as a personality, but Nehru or Churchill, they have policies that are written down as government edicts, so that can be criticized.
Of course, government policy can be criticized. You can analyze them, but you have to understand that every decision was situational at that time and contextualize it at that time. You can't say 100 years later, why did you take the decision? But at that time, with their knowledge, their social standing, their social view would be tempered in a certain way. Because my social view is very different from my father's social view in a lot of things. And it definitely will differ from my daughter's social view in a lot of things. I mean, in India, there is no concept of privacy. But if now, people walk into everybody's doors without knocking into doors, that's unacceptable to my daughter. If I have to come into a door, I knock. But that was not how it was when I was a boy. My parents would walk in any time. I'm sure you understand that totally. But things change. Totally. So everything changes because of knowledge, customary behavior, and everything like that.
Yeah, I know. It's like, and some books also, they don't stand the test of time.
Correct. Of course, they get outdated.
What you read and what you idolize, some
But my only thing is that, but prime ministers and all, their written word is there as policy, and you see the effect of that over decades.
But you
talked about Soviet tilt and all that. There's no denying also the fact of Nehru's sort of idea towards our military expansion, towards our intelligence agencies. This is black and white. It's written of what he's done. So that the 62 China war is an element of that.
You can.
Using Krishna Menon as a defense minister.
I'm not saying you can't criticize, but you must also take into account the time
and the context behind
it. And their social conditioning also in taking a decision.
Okay. We are all divided in this.
This is a great test. See, great test of a South Indian cook is to see whether he makes good sambar.
I agree.
Whether if it's a watery sambar, it's a terrible cook. It has to be thick, and you have to put that. I don't know what is the word for. You have to grind the masala powder and add to it, and add a lot of vegetables. This was a Maharashtrian import into Tamil Nadu. It came with Sambaji to Tanjavur.
Yeah.
But this is also a good example of the integration of cultures and the confluence of cultures in India.
You're a Kannadiga. You
Yeah.
like this kind of Tamil sambar better or
Obviously, the
No, the
Karnataka sambar.
Karnataka sambar is sweet. It's not good.
What do you mean it's not good?
They put a
It's
little
sweet
jaggery in
and that's
that.
why it's good.
That's why they
Yeah,
put a Karnataka sambar. They put
You
sweet.
don't join in with him.
See,
You're half
I
Kannadiga.
know, but Tamil sambar has a little bit more spice to
Tamil
it
sambar is
and more
better.
texture.
Tamil
Tamil-
is not thick, it is too thin.
No, Tamil sambar has to be thick. The too thin is a bad cook in Delhi making it. So a proper cook would make it thick.
No, and it is too
and also
pungent. Sorry.
the people in Delhi think sambar should be drunk. No, you don't drink sambar.
You have it with
only
rice.
You have it with rice, dosa or idli.
Correct.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, but the Tamil sambar, this we
No,
totally,
okay. So what I will do is
absolutely,
I will invite you home for the dosa sambar and with the
No,
with chicken and
chettinad as well.
I will
Of course,
enjoy-
This is also chettinad. See, chettinad is a very generic term where it's a confluence of all foods which
Yes.
has come in now.
yeah, we have that too, right? Bisibele baat or tair sadam.
Both. In fact, you finish off with tair sadam, you start with bisibelabath.
Oh.
But it's rice and rice.
Yeah, but you said in Tamil Nadu, you have to finish every meal with tair sadam.
Okay, fine. Mysore pak and Mysore pak.
I'm not fond of Indian sweets.
But you really don't have Mysore pak. My God, I mean, you're breaking every rule on this podcast
Okay,
now.
I'm not a big fan of Indian sweets.
Yeah, past 40, you should not be eating this, honestly.
Okay. And idli?
And idli, again, making idli is a great talent. You must make very soft idlis. And idli and mutton curry is the ideal breakfast.
Well, what's your go-to place in Chennai for this?
Home. I
Home.
don't go to eat South Indian food outside. Even in Delhi, where will I eat at home? Because I am from the Sivaganga area where the Chettinad cuisine comes from, and my father's family is from there. We have very good cooks there. You should come home.
And
have-
idli dunked in sambar? Idli
No,
they had
idli
it with
dunked
mutton
in
or chicken?
Curry. Mutton curry is the best.
Yes.
Idli and mutton curry is the best.
So idli with sambar, but dosa with chutney.
No, dosa with chicken curry and appam with paya.
Even a Punjabi will be very happy hearing this.
Appam with paya, dosa with chicken curry, and idli with mutton kolumbu.
No, appam with stew.
No. Appam with stew is a
We are in
bland dish.
Two different
No.
coasts we are.
No,
So
no,
that's why we got
appam with
East
stew
Coast and West Coast, right?
Stew is a bland dish. With appam and paya is what you should have.
Cheh, no, absolutely not. Appam with either mean moili or with stew.
Mean
is
moili,
good.
I guess, but really it's appam with paya. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll invite the ANI team to my house in Managiri, in my constituency.
We'll
And
take you up on that.
Please come and let's have a proper Chettinad breakfast with
हम लोग
appam.
वो numbers लेके जाएंगे ना. We did that in one show. How many points do you give? And then we will decide who gets it. But on that note, thank you so much for sparing the time and
It's a
coming
great
on
pleasure
2
and great
days.
fun.
Thank you. Thank you
sir.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching or listening to this edition of the NR podcast with Smita Prakash. Do like or subscribe on whichever channel you've seen this or heard this. Namaste. Jai Hind. Click here to watch the previous episodes.